Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Impressionable, an Allen production, with your hosts Acrimonious Allen, Habitudinous Hunter, and Recalcitrant Raven. This week, the tantalizing trio talk about times when they shouldn't have been allowed on the streets. It's time for Road Nightmares. Please prepare thy keys and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Impressionable podcast. Here we discuss anything that interests us and compete to see who can bring the most impressionable story to the table.
Impressionable?
Yeah, impressionable. Shut up! I'm doing an intro, gosh dang it. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The person who leaves the biggest impression on the judge, who is me this week, casually, because I won last week, will win and get the host next week's episode. I'm here with my friends, Alan and Nick today. How are you guys doing?
Yes.
No. Did I answer your question, man?
Nope.
Although I had a pretty interesting thing for small talk wise. That happened about 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend's dad ran into my car.
Yeah.
Then
Did you get the dent fixed yet?
Nope.
Are you going to?
Whenever their insurance comes back with me. Whenever that may be.
I bet you were angry.
Yeah, a little bit. We decided to go to the movies. And I was not expecting because I decided to go with my girlfriend and her mom in her truck, while her dad and her sister went in the other truck. As I was climbing into the truck, I hear crunch, screw. I look back, and her dad's truck is in my car.
So y'all didn't go to the movies?
Nope, we still did.
What movie did y'all watch?
We watched Jurassic Park.
Should have watched Top Gun Maverick again.
I kind of already watched it with her before.
Do it again. It's a good movie.
What'd you think of Jurassic World?
It wasn't bad. It was a good movie.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad either.
It's not the best Jurassic movie, but I mean, for what it was good.
Yeah.
Would I watch it again? Maybe.
I wouldn't go in theaters to watch it again, of course.
No. Also, I did watch the new Buzz Lightyear movie.
Of course you have.
Why'd you watch that?
I thought it was interesting. The trailer looked good, honestly. It looks like the graphics and everything for it, and the CGI is great. The story? Not really. Have you guys seen it, or do you care if I spoil it?
You can spoil it. I haven't seen it, but I don't know if the viewers that won't view this will like
the
you
one person that
spoiling it.
listens to this podcast can stop listening for a minute. I'd like to very quickly formally apologize to the one person that listens to this for not having an episode last week. Nick's computer had major technical difficulties.
Look, it wasn't that bad. It only took me an entire day to do everything.
When you have to reinstall Windows, I'd say that's pretty bad.
No, trust me, man. My computer works good now. So, I think it took longer to delete the old Windows than it was to install the new one.
Uh-huh.
And apparently the old Windows, you can ask Alan, took up so much space on my computer.
And how does this make you feel?
Good now it's gone, because now I have a lot of space on my computer. And apparently the file was, I think it was 1.3 million files that I had to go through. And it was a terabyte sized file. And apparently that's really big, Alan says.
That's really big. For one file.
Well, that's cool.
Anyways, what's the topic for today? What are we talking about?
The topic for today is road nightmares.
Road nightmares.
Nightmares.
So it's something that has happened to you on the road, or you've seen on the road, or something illegal to do on the road or in a vehicle.
I already have a great story.
All right. Well, I will start first, as you know, to carry on the tradition. As a segue into y'all's stuff. Last night, I was driving home from work,
Mm-hmm.
and I was how the road is in the city. You know how there's 2 lanes going towards you, and then there's 2 lanes you're on going towards the square, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's a cop in the lane going towards me.
Mm-hmm.
I see him turn on his flashers and make a U-turn right in front of me. Of course, there's no cars in his lane and there's no cars in my lane, but he makes a U-turn right in front of me with his lights on, instead of just turning around or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he swerved, and he then turned, and some guy pulled over, but then instead of pulling that guy over, he turned down a different road and pulled some other guy over. But I'm pretty sure it's illegal to make U-turns on that road, even if you're a cop.
Well, what was the thing like? Did he get a call from dispatch saying so and so
No.
vehicle car make was like, and he went down there to go do that,
No,
or
he
is it just
pulled a
he
car
decided
over.
to?
He just
Oh.
decided to and he pulled a car over.
Sounds fair.
I mean, and also, have y'all seen the Whataburger line yet?
Yeah.
No.
Last night it was like 9:30 at night, and the line had 2 rows of cars wrapped around the entire building.
People,
Mhm.
the day that opened, people were starting to line up at like 2:30 in the morning.
See, that's just ridiculous.
It's a
You want-
burger. It's not only a burger; it's a fast food burger. There's other Whataburgers in this state.
Well, last night, whenever me and Sebastian were hanging out, we were driving around Lebanon. We're out late and stuff like that. It was about 1 in the morning. We passed by Whataburger. The line is still like that huge, and there is security cars there just to keep everything in order.
Yeah.
I don't understand
Like
people.
it is insane. Because Sebastian was literally because I've had Whataburger before when I was down in Texas, and don't get me wrong, it's probably the best fast food burger I've had. It's really good. But like, who loves it that much to be out there that early in the morning to get a burger?
I wouldn't do it.
Like, I've
I'd
seen
No.
go somewhere else.
I've seen the Whataburger in Hermitage, and that line, every time I pass by it, it's always a massive line, even after being
Yeah.
open for months.
See, I don't understand
Yeah.
why.
I don't get it. I'd love
I mean,
to
it's
try it.
really good
I've never
fat-
had
it-
Whataburger. I'd love to
it's
try it.
actually
but
really
that's not
good.
gonna happen. Lines are too long.
Well, I guess when they open up the inside, it'll change.
Probably.
Yeah,
And
then it'll be not only be lined out the drive-thru, it'll also be lined out the door.
And
yeah.
through the drive-thru.
And the good thing about Whataburger is, the thing is like the food there is actually really good. But what makes it even better is how big the food is. Like those burgers are pretty big. Like they're sizable burgers. They give you a big serving of fries too, and it's for pretty good price. And it's just really good. I have no flaws with Whataburger.
Anyways, we're getting off topic. This isn't a fast food
This
episode.
isn't a Whataburger sponsorship.
Oh yeah. Don't go there. Their food's shit.
So who has a name for their story first?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
The world's best backwards driver.
Oh no.
All right, Alan.
I have no story.
Alright, Nick, go while Alan comes up with his.
So, I know, Hunter, you're 100% there. I can't remember if Alan was.
I wasn't.
No,
I do.
I'd
it
remember
was
something
Connor.
like this.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know Connor was there, but so it was just us three. So happened to be we were all in Mount Juliet that night, and we went to Walmart, all that kind of stuff. When we were going to leave, my windows started to fog up, and this is when I was starting the drive. I just got my license not too long ago. I've been driving around a bit. I've been to Mount Juliet a handful of times. Don't know the roads really at all, and we decided to go Walmart there. We bought some pretty cool hats, and we're hitting the road.
I have a picture
And I
from that
realized-
night then.
I also do too. And the windows started to fog up like really bad. And you guys were all like, "Well, shouldn't we stop and like fix the fog?" I was like, "Nah, I got this, guys. It won't be a problem." We're driving. We're leaving. Fogged up. Couldn't see nothing. And I was just winging it. And something I didn't realize was the way that Mount Juliet has their traffic set up is the way they divide it is there's grass patches and there's two lanes for oncoming traffic and outgoing traffic that they have. I didn't realize that for some reason. At least I didn't see the other side of it, so I just assumed that I went onto a lane for oncoming traffic. So I start to approach the light. I'm like, why is the light on the other side? I'm not. And then I start seeing cars with headlights on and honking in the middle of Mount Juliet. Yeah, I start seeing the headlights. I'm like, oh, I realize I'm in oncoming traffic. So, and they're honking at me, and I immediately stop, hit it in reverse perfectly. I reverse backwards fast as I could, perfectly, getting into the other side instantly. Best backwards driving I've ever done in my life.
Yeah. So, from witnessing that night and knowing how smooth the backwards driving it was, there's no flaws or anything like that. He just popped it in reverse and got out of there. I think that Nick deserves 4 points for that.
Honestly. And also, as soon as all that happened, we got on the main road, there was like 2 cop cars that passed by. So if it happened like any later, we could have been screwed.
Oh yeah. All right,
And-
Alan, you got anything yet? Oh wait, sorry, Nick. Continue.
And I was just going to say, it could have been bad that night. Could have been.
Yeah.
But if Al doesn't have another story, I have another one already lined up to go that I can think of that's more recent.
I have one short thing.
All
Called
right, Alan.
The City of Brotherly Hate.
Oh, well, that's a creative name. 1 point for you.
Alright, so if you had to guess, do you think that traffic
But-
would be...
Wait,
What?
but I didn't get a point for my cool name.
Anyways, Alan, continue
So,
your story.
if you had to guess, would you say that traffic is worse in Philadelphia or in New York City?
New York.
I'd say in New York.
You are completely wrong. There's a
Oh.
lot more cars in New York, but traffic in Philadelphia is just a nightmare. So I'll start off in New York. When we went to New York, we didn't really do much driving there, but we did take a taxi this one time, and the taxi was driving a little bit crazy, getting really, really close to other cars, speeding, and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like we weren't being thrown around in the back or anything, and we got to our destination fine. But in Philadelphia, when my dad was driving, I was sitting in the back seat, and the entire time, if I wasn't bracing myself in my seat, like with my hands on the side and like my feet pushing myself against the seat, then I would be thrown around like crazy in Philadelphia. That's
So don't go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, don't go there. It's a
All right.
bad city. It's also where that bathroom was from the first episode.
Oh,
Someone else
well, I
had tried
think
to
that
break into the
automatically
truck
gives
in that
you.
city.
I think that automatically gives you 2 more points for tying in a previous episode.
Yeah.
It's giving this
What?
podcast lore.
But wait,
These
this
life
seems
stories
kind of
have
biased.
lore.
This kind of seems biased.
What do you mean?
All right, Nick, or shall I say Raven? What is your second story?
Where did Raven come from?
Oh, that's
you know.
church. Raven and Rogue came from church. That's another story for another day.
Anyways,
So, how could I? The night of the gun in Lebanon. Both of you was there for this one.
plus 2 points.
So, everyone's kind of aware of like the old trend of like the splat guns, where people go around and shoot people with it. And, you know, it's not lethal or anything; it just leaves welts and it hurts.
Yeah.
I have one in my car.
You still have it in your car?
I still do.
You should take
my
that out.
God.
Take it out.
-1 for incompetence.
No, I should get another.
That's
I should
fair.
get a point for being a rebel. For being cool.
Anyways, keep going.
So basically, what ended up happening is we met unexpected people at a movie theater, and Brandon, our so-called friend, ran in there because Hunter was threatening to shoot him.
Can I confirm?
And then after that whole debacle happened, we all left. We were going to leave. And then the unexpected people that we met and knew was my girlfriend that wasn't my girlfriend at the time, and Hunter's sister. And being rude and stuff or whatever by them, and we went and tracked them down, basically.
Wait, what?
That, yeah, I do not remember that, where people like,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, your mic cut out, so it sounded like you said we were being rude to them and stuff.
no. But, and before that, for some reason, Brandon had the urge to yell out, "I am going to shoot you and kill your babies."
I don't think he said the baby's part.
He didn't say the baby's part.
I remember
said-
saying something with babies. I
He
remember.
said, "Who's the baby now?" But he did say, "I'm going to
Use
shoot."
the baby now.
Who's the baby? Okay. I know that was. I thought it was that, but. And apparently he yelled it loud enough to where cops heard it. And we were kind of stopped in the middle of the road just talking to these people, and then the cops. I see a cop car right behind us. So I'm like, okay, I guess it's time to go. And as I'm going to leave the movie theater, I notice they are following me. And I'm like, I'm not going to go on the main road because I know I'm about to get pulled over. And I see the lights turn on. First time I've ever been pulled over in my life. And I have 3 people in my car with
4,
The-
including you.
4 including me, yes. And they pull us over, and there's 2 cops. One comes up to my window, and the other one is flashing his light in the car in the back seat and everything. And he asked me for my license, registration, everything like that. You know, the normal stuff. Give it to him, and he says, I forget exactly what he says, but he's like, "You know why I pulled you over?" I'm like, "No clue." And he's like, "Because we heard someone in your car yell out, 'I am going to shoot you.'"
No, I still don't think anyone actually said that.
It was Brandon.
Brandon said it. I know Brandon did. And then I had to sit there and explain to the cop that 1, it was a toy gun. It's not lethal or anything. 2, that we knew the people. and 3 were joking around in that, you know, like there was nothing actually bad happening. But the cop was, I can't tell, the cop was chill, but at the same time wasn't, I guess. He was very serious about it, and he left me off warning. I didn't get a ticket, nothing. But he said that about that kind of stuff. And
He said what?
he said it was
Your mic is cutting out.
very, and that if he wanted to, he could get me into serious trouble, apparently. And that I'm not allowed to have that in my car. Because apparently it's banned in Lebanon.
Even though they sell it at Walmart.
Shh. What are you talking
Oh
about?
no. Orbeez.
The real killer. Forget about guns. Orbeez is where it's at. They got a lockdown on those.
Illegal in 7 states.
But apparently, the first time I've ever been pulled over in my life. I'm a good driver. First time I've ever been pulled over, and I remember driving back, actually being mad
Because of Brandon.
because of Brandon.
You know, everything happens because of Brandon.
Yeah, he could have had me have serious infractions on my license. There could have been serious repercussions.
He swears up and down he didn't say that.
He literally did.
Yeah.
Because I know I didn't say it.
No, none of us said it. It was him. He
It
had the gun.
had to have been Brandon. I was still
None of us remember any of us saying that, though.
no.
I remember Brandon saying it.
I'm pretty confident of all of us. I'd expect Brandon to say that.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah,
agree
I
with
heard
that.
him say, I'm going to shoot you, gosh dang it. Who's the baby now?
Yeah. Yeah, and
You cut out
I
again.
just hearing that. I guess from the cop's perspective, from just hearing that randomly, was like, I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can understand why. So,
Oh, yeah, I fully understand it.
yeah. And luckily, I wasn't given any serious consequences.
Yeah.
And Brandon is now no longer ever allowed to drive with me. I will never be the driver
Good.
for Brandon.
So, is that all the story?
Pretty much.
Alan, you got one?
I got nothing, Chief.
Does nothing interesting happen to you on the road?
Honestly, no. Like this one time we drove through a sandstorm, but that wasn't really interesting.
A sandstorm?
Yeah.
I've
Plus 1 point for it being sand.
what?
That's fair.
It seems really biased, but okay. I've never driven through a
Driven?
sandstorm.
Yeah, me neither.
But you just,
I wasn't the one driving.
does the stories have to count if we're the driver or if we're driving in a vehicle that something interesting happened?
It's as long as you were on the road and something interesting happened. You don't have to be the driver.
Okay, I have an interesting kind of story.
Okay.
So, part of my family, my mom's side, she's Canadian.
Okay.
We decided to drive for some reason, and it's a 13-hour drive.
But you just decided to go to Canada?
Apparently,
What, you don't?
I mean,
Yeah,
I would
we-
if you didn't have to go through a whole process to get in.
nah, man. Trust me, it's great, especially when you get to the border.
The borders are so fun.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Hunter can attest to that.
It's easier since my mom also has a Canadian passport, so it's easier for them.
Oh yeah, because she.
But then they question us kids who have American passports.
It would. Wait, actually, no. I came up with a story. Keep going.
All right, and we're on the interstate lane, and basically the way this was set up is the way they divided traffic from oncoming and ongoing was a giant cinder block wall, right? Like you've seen it before.
Casually.
And to the right, my mom was on a call with my dad, whatever they were talking, and there was an 18-wheeler right next to us, to the right of us. So there's an 18-wheeler to the right and a cinder block wall to our left. And then all of a sudden, randomly, the 18-wheeler starts to get over into our lane.
Oh.
Yeah. And my mom is honking, screaming, and he keeps going into our lane. My mom has to slam on the brakes to avoid all of us dying. And my mom is visibly like shaking from the experience. She was genuinely scared. And I would be too if I was driving, probably. Our way around the 18-wheeler, and my mom rolls down the window and just flips off the driver.
Well, that's 1 point.
And as we're driving on past and we're looking back, that 18-wheeler is just swerving all over the road. Like, just changing lanes, just basically saying, fuck you to everyone else. I own the road.
Well, they do own the road. If they say they own it.
Oh,
they own
yeah. And my dad was, like, asking, like, what happened, Liz? And she's explaining, she's starting to cry. My dad's all worried. He's like, and he was just like, my entire life is in that car. Because all three of us kids and his wife was in that car. If we didn't move out and we all died, that's his whole family gone.
Yeah.
Everyone was visibly shooken and like, it'll be an experience I will not forget. Maybe the people on the driver's side would have survived, but since I was on the passenger side, I think I definitely wouldn't have if we didn't move.
Uh-huh.
Because the 18-wheeler was coming on to my side.
That was plus 1 point for PTSD.
Yeah. PCS. Oh, wait. Actually, you reminded me of the military, and I actually have something very interesting. That's kind of small talk that I really want to talk to you guys. I forgot to mention.
All right. You can talk to it towards the end or later or something.
Yeah, I'll try to remember it towards the end.
Alan, what is your story?
How dare you go on vacation?
Okay.
Plus 2.
I don't get any points for my titles.
I give you a point for it being in Canada.
Canada?
Yeah, for going to Canada.
I actually used to call it that when I was a kid.
Anyways,
Explain it to me.
stop interrupting Alan. Go.
So in my life, we have gone on vacation into Canada twice, and the first time was in 2019 and we tried to cross the border. Well, we did successfully cross the border, but we went to the border, right? And then the border guard asked us, questions. She was like, you have any guns? I was like, no. You have any drugs or tobacco? We're like, no. She's like, okay, how many eggs do you have?
What?
What?
She asked us questions about how many eggs we had and if we had any dairy products or meat. She was more worried about that than the guns and drugs.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Why?
Like, are you bringing illegal chickens into my country?
Yeah, my parents didn't really know, so they just kind of gave her a rough estimation. And then she let us go.
Estimation?
Yeah.
Y'all had eggs in the car?
We have a camper.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because for a second, like, I thought you were just driving up in a car and you just randomly had eggs, milk, whatever.
And do you not know why still?
No.
There's like, oh, we don't like your American version of chickens. Or
You didn't Google
milk.
it or anything?
No.
I'm gonna
Actually,
Google it right now.
I'm gonna Google it. Yeah, there has to be a reason. Why does Canadian
We've crossed in Canada twice, and it was only the first time that they asked us about eggs.
guards ask about dairy products.
Because of the avian flu.
Any person may, under the authority of the general import permit, import into Canada from any other country any dairy products as their personal use. Apparently, it can't exceed $20 in value.
Oh, it 100% exceeded $20 in value.
Apparently, it said it's under the general order too.
That is such a weird law.
That is. And wait, what foods cannot cross the Canadian border? Apparently you can't bring fresh fruits and vegetables and animals and fish products. Can't bring live bait.
We had meat. And we told the border guard that.
I don't know. But apparently there's the three main things is you can't bring food and fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff.
Okay,
you can't bring live baits and then weapons. Those are the three main things apparently you can't bring into Canada.
I like how they put weapons last on that list.
They did. That's the thing. That is so weird. I think we might have been asked that before when we crossed, but I just don't realize. But still, like, I don't know. That's really weird. That is really weird.
That is strange.
What did the American border guard say?
I don't think they say anything. They just don't care.
Honestly, yeah. That time, that's what happened. We drove through Canada. He drove back to an American border crossing. I was like, "All right, welcome back."
Pretty much, yeah. That's how I remember. It's so much easier to leave Canada than it is to get in.
Well, sometimes.
At least I've found.
Sometimes. The second time I went to Canada was in 2022. It was this summer. And right now, if you want to cross into Canada, you have to go to a website and input very, very specific information. We had to tell them what border crossing we were going to cross at, and what time, and what day, and everything. So that was fun.
What if you're late?
I don't know. We didn't find out.
It was like, yeah, I booked an appointment to cross the border at 2. It's like 2:22.
Yeah.
What are they just like? Hey, you're 22 minutes late. Sorry, come back another time. like what happens?
I don't know.
You telling me you didn't want to find out?
No, not really. So then we got to the border.
Really weird.
Yeah. Then we got to the border. Then we got to the border guard. Or she was like, "You have any weapons, drugs, or tobacco?" Nope. All right, welcome to Canada.
Plus 2 more points for that border guard being pretty cool.
Yep. But then, we tried to go back into America as American citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And that border guard he asked us about the weapons and the drugs.
Yeah.
He asked us if we were bringing any food back from Canada.
Well, were you?
Yeah. But that's past the point. We didn't tell him that. And then he looked at me and he was like, "How old is he?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm 17." And he was like, "What? There's no school or anything?" And for some reason, it was difficult for him to understand the concept of people having different timed summer breaks in different parts of the country.
Well, like, even if weren't, it's not against the law to go on vacation from school.
People do that all the time.
Like, why would he care?
I know. That's my point.
Was he just going on his checkbox list? Did I make sure there's no guns, nothing like that, tobacco? Are your kids currently going to school and you skipped them from school to go to here?
No.
Like, that... Maybe he was just trying to give you a tough time.
I think he was. But then,
He saw you, he was like, "Oh, you wear glasses. I hate you now."
you wear glasses? You can't cross this border. You gotta
What
say
if they
Canada.
told you that? What if they told you that? What if they told you that? Where it was like your parents are going to have to come back to get you another time.
Look, they
You
wear
can't leave
my entire
Canada.
family wears glasses.
Yeah, they do. But like, what if for some reason they told
Plus
you,
2 points
like,
for being blind.
Thanks, man. I feel like this is kind of biased towards me.
No, Nick is still beating you by 1 point right now.
I wear glasses?
Yeah, but you don't actually wear them all the time. So you're skimping
I'm
out.
supposed to. Technically, I'm supposed to. And it's illegal for me to drive without them.
Plus 2 points for breaking the law.
Nice. But that is like, what if they told you it was like you couldn't leave the country, like specifically you,
No, you
for
can't.
some reason?
I couldn't re-enter America.
Yeah, like what if they denied you access to re-enter your country?
I don't know
because
what would happen.
of school.
All because of school.
I wasn't even in school. It was the middle of summer break. But up there, they are in school in June, then their summer break is in July and August, I think.
Apparently,
I
my
wish
mom
our
tried to
summer
explain to
break
me
was
one day,
also
and I
in
just didn't
August.
listen.
Wait, did you say you didn't listen to your mom?
Yeah, when she tried to explain to me how school works in Canada,
Minus 1 point.
you douchebag.
Yeah, that's my
Minus
story.
Alright.
another point.
Oh. Alright, so another road story. I'm not thinking of any on the top of my head so far. I do know because of road trips, I hate Pennsylvania with a burning passion. That
Alright,
I hate that
explain
state.
why.
I want it to burn to the ground.
Is it because of the bumpy roads?
No. Funny enough, no. I want to see that state burn to the ground. I want it to be 49 states.
Why do you hate Pennsylvania so much? It's where Hershey is.
Whenever I lived in Connecticut, because my mom had family in both Ohio and Canada.
Why do everyone has family in Ohio? I don't get it.
I don't.
Except Hunter.
Well, you're a loser. There's a loser.
Well, minus 1
And-
point for Nick.
All right. And we were driving. We never fly, apparently. We always just drive.
That's
We
what
decided
do.
to drive from Connecticut to Ohio, to Cincinnati. And it's just like I think it was like a 6-7 hour drive.
Sounds about right.
And the way that Pennsylvania, like, I'm assuming that you guys and everyone else listening knows the shape of, like, the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Hunter knows all about Pennsylvania.
all about it.
Yeah.
He's been there so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And the way our route takes us, we have to drive through Pennsylvania lengthwise. So for like 3/4 of the trip, we're in Pennsylvania only. And as a kid, we'd always ask, like, where are we? All we heard every time my mom says, like, we're in Pennsylvania. 3 hours later, where are we? We're in Pennsylvania. Another 3 hours. Are we still in Pennsylvania? Yep.
That's what Kansas is like.
Like, it felt like it was so long that we were in Pennsylvania. Like, when we finally, like, it didn't matter what state we were in. As long as we were out of Pennsylvania car. Like, I hated Pennsylvania.
I can give you a list of states that are horrible to drive through.
That.
Okay.
What, do you want this list?
I do, actually.
Alright, so Missouri's
Story
pretty
about
terrible.
driving.
Kansas, really boring. Half of Colorado. The other half is mountains,
Half?
beautiful. Yeah, the other half is plains.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like Kansas. But
I
at a
actually
slightly
wanted to go to
higher
Denver,
elevation.
Colorado.
Huh?
I've always wanted to go to Denver, Colorado. I've heard that, like, the city is actually really nice.
It is a nice
But
city.
because of the elevation, it's hard to breathe if you don't, like, live there. Or, like, you lose your breath quicker.
I don't
'cause
really
isn't
have
like a
that
couple-
issue unless we go on
Minus
top of
1
Pikes
point
Peak.
for minus 1 point for Nick for having weak lungs. Plus 1 point for Alan
What?
having
That's just a
great lungs.
fact! That is literally a fact!
I don't make the rules, man.
You literally do, you douchebag. Screw you
Right, Alan's all of a sudden beating you somehow.
for
I'm not
being
even done with the
a biased douchebag.
Well, minus 1 point for Nick.
You are a biased douchebag.
Nick, if you want to stop losing points, I would
Minus
suggest you
another
stop
one.
talking.
Alan's beating you by 4 points right now, Nick.
I've told like 5 stories. He tells 2,
No, I'm still
and he
going
gets
with the horrible
points. And
states
he
to drive-through list.
gets points for my stories.
Actually, I've told 3 stories, kind of. If you count
And he
the
gets
list.
points during my stories. He'll make a comment, and then Hunter's like, "Well, 20 points down."
Make better comments, Nick.
Fine, you know what? Fine, Alan. Keep.
All right.
I'll give you better comments.
All right. Ohio kind of sucks. Minnesota's the worst. I hate Minnesota because not only is there nothing to look at, but the roads are also incredibly bumpy for some reason in that state. The Upper Peninsula of Michigan is really boring. And South Dakota is pretty boring.
Okay.
Honestly, that's about it.
So what about California?
California is fine.
Where have you been in California?
We went to San Francisco, LA, Death Valley, and like some areas in between there.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that Tennessee is ranked 16th in the country for having biggest penises?
Really?
I'm looking that up right now.
Is that true?
Yeah. New
Really?
Hampshire is the number 1 leading state with the biggest penises, apparently.
I'm looking that up right now to fact check you, and if you are right, then I will give you 3 points.
Apparently, Wyoming is the very bottom for the smallest penises.
I mean, honestly, it makes sense when you think about it.
How?
You have to have been there to understand it.
But I have been there.
You don't understand it? Well, then you're an idiot.
But
All right, where'd you find this on?
I googled exactly this. Which state has the biggest penises?
Why did you have the urge to look that up?
Don't know. Just came to mind. And then if you scroll down, you'll see a list of states. And in this article, it says states from 1 to 50. Apparently, Texas.
The one I'm on says
Just-
Tennessee is on 22, and North Dakota's number 1.
Which list are you looking at?
Newsfeed.
Newsfeed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I see that. If you scroll 2 more articles down, that's what I looked at. The Condomania penis size study.
How do we get
With
to this
New
point?
Hampshire.
Wait, if you
Well-
look at the very top one, it says Alabama. Oh, wait. This one actually gives inches of how, like, apparently they went around and measured everyone's penises.
Oh, Alabama's another pretty boring state to drive through, and I just hate Alabama. So that.
Oh, that
so
one I
Speaking-
can't confirm.
Speaking of Alabama, there are inches on the average penis.
Well, I'll give you the 3 points, Nick.
Yay. I wish Tennessee had bigger penises.
And you're losing
Maybe
1.
we need to move to
What?
North Dakota or New
Wait,
Hampshire.
penis size by country. Oh
Alright,
my.
Get off the penis topic, Nick.
Wait, Ecuador has the biggest penis in the
Yes.
Yes, of course it
world?
does.
6.93 inches.
Wait, you know what? For telling me that, I'm giving you 2 more points.
That's fair.
How?
You're tied with Alan.
How is Ecuador? Oh,
Are you
God.
questioning how?
No, I'm questioning no.
Okay.
Like, what? Why? Like they go house to house. Like, is there any male occupants in your house? If so, can we measure their penis?
Yeah.
Apparently,
at the
people
bottom
in
of the
Canada
list?
also are packing.
Get off of the penis topic.
No, I want to know what country's at the bottom of that list.
Oh, you want to know the countries at the bottom?
Is it the U.S.?
I hope so.
It's gonna be like Syria or something.
All right, fine. I'll find out for you.
For some reason, I have a
Apparently-
strong feeling it's Syria.
At the bottom, Cambodia.
Ooh, that was close.
The
the
top
way,
5 at the bottom is
if Syria
Hong
is-
Kong, Sri Lanka, the Philippines,
Sri
Taiwan, and
Lanka?
Cambodia. Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. We're not getting into this.
If Syria was in the top 5 on the bottom, Alan, I would have given you 5 points.
Is Syria in the top 5?
In the top 5? Top 5. No.
Ah, balls.
Syria is more in the middle to bottom.
Okay, so lower half.
Lower half, yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Apparently, Israel has bigger penises than the United States. And Afghanistan does.
Are you surprised?
Maybe that's why we lost the war. They had bigger
Yeah.
penises. Wait. Ukraine has bigger penises than Russia, so that means Ukraine's going to win the war.
Wait, hold on. Tell me, does Germany or the UK have bigger penises
Than us?
than which country has bigger, Germany or the UK?
Okay, so that's the UK. Where's Germany? Germany has bigger.
Okay, then that doesn't explain World War II.
Well, this is the modern times. Maybe during World War II, that it was different.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're telling me Mexico has bigger penises than the United
Yes.
States?
Don't declare war on them.
I say we go to war, guys.
This is how you can determine if your country can win a war against any other country.
Uh-huh. My penis size.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Honestly, I'm sold.
You know what? I say if I ever become president, this is how I'm determining if I ever go to war with a country. Does my country have bigger penises than that country?
We are so off topic right now.
Man, I wonder why we would have brought that up.
That's the thing about this podcast. It's not about staying on topic.
That is true. It's leaving an impression.
I mean, they'll definitely remember us talking about penises.
Yeah. You know, Nick,
I'd say that was
deserves
pretty
2 more.
impressionable.
Yeah, I think that. And I like the pun, Alan. That's 1 point.
Yes.
Damn it. Fucking.
Don't worry, Nick. You're beating Alan by 1 point right now.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Balls.
Can I think of any other driving stories that is crazy?
You know, I can't tell you any more driving stories, but I can tell you a tale that involves Bolivia and Chile.
What?
You know, I'm curious now.
Alright, so at some point in time, I have no idea when this was, Bolivia used to not be a landlocked country. The bit
What?
that Chile has between the Pacific Ocean and Bolivia used to be Bolivia. But then one day, Chile, the big long boy that it is, decided that its coastline wasn't long enough, so they invaded Bolivia and took Bolivia's coastline.
Huh. You know, I feel like I've heard this before,
That's
But
also why
since-
Bolivia has a navy.
but since this was a history question and it's very knowledgeable for our audience, I'm giving you 2 more points.
I have really cool history, fact questions that's knowledgeable.
Okay.
Copying my idea.
Did you know honeybees flap their wings 230 times every second?
Well, considering that's not history,
Wait.
minus one
You're,
point.
wait. No. Wait. Hold on. It's- Okay. Fine. You want some cool history facts?
No, I'd have been good with the honeybee fact if you just said it was the right thing.
But. Uh,
Yeah, man, I'm sorry.
did you know that turkeys were once worshipped like gods?
Yeah, I did know that.
While the turkey is currently America's favorite meal for Thanksgiving, in 300 BC, these big birds were heralded by the Mayan people as vessels of the gods.
Minus 1 point for reading an article
What?
and not saying it in your head.
What?
From you.
What?
Yeah. Alan said
Fine, then
it.
you want to know an actual cool and fun fact that I know that's not from an article?
Shoot, Nick. Shoot me.
Shoot.
Not at
Nick,
Go
you
to
want
his
to
house
know
and
it?
shoot him right now.
Like you want to know it? Shoot you?
Yeah.
Did you know D-Day could have been a whole disaster if Hitler wasn't asleep?
Of course, the World War II fact.
That's plus 2
And
points, man.
and the reason why we could have lost is in Paris there was, I believe, 3 Panzer divisions. And for those who don't know, Panzer divisions are divisions made up of armored units, like tanks and armored vehicles, heavily armored division. And those divisions would not move on anyone else's orders except Hitler's. And during D-Day, when the operation was happening, Hitler was asleep. And the generals knew that if they moved those divisions towards the D-Day invasions, and historians even say that if they did, because we would not have been able to stop those armored divisions with just our infantry that we landed with. But the reason why they didn't move was because all of his generals back in Berlin were too scared to wake up Hitler in fear of what he would do to them if he woke up. That is literally why D-Day was a success.
That's why you don't scare your people.
They were too scared to wake up Hitler to tell them, yeah, the Allies have invaded. They were honestly too scared. They waited till he woke up. So imagine just waking up out of bed, good rest in the morning. You get up, go out there, your generals immediately rush you and like, yeah, we've been invaded. Northern France has been taken.
You know what, Nick? That's actually a really interesting fact.
I agree.
Right.
That's why I'm giving you
Like dogs.
1 more point.
Alright, here, I'll tell you one more interesting fact. That's kind of sad if you like dogs.
Alright, so it won't be sad
So,
for me.
so this is also in World War II, but this is what the Soviets did. So the way that whenever it was about, I think, a year after Operation Barbarossa happened, one of the tactics that the Soviets used to go against the German tanks was they would train dogs to smell gasoline, and they would trace the smell back and go to it. And they would put a vest on the dogs that would just be a bunch of bombs. And since they would smell the gas in the tanks, the dogs would go underneath the tank because they're going to the gas tank, and then they would blow up the dog to blow up the tank.
Naturally.
Of course the Soviet
and
Union
they-
would do that.
Yeah, they did. If I remember, they did it with all dogs and of all ages. Like they would train them as soon as they were born, and like they could be a puppy, and like they actually just sent them out there to do it.
Alright.
That's a little
I-
messed up.
Well, I am needing one more story from one of y'all to break this tie.
There's a tie?
It's a tie.
All right, I definitely have a story.
Alright, tell me.
All right. Actually, I do have a story.
I have a story that doesn't
So-
involve me in any way, but it involves roads.
It does not involve you. It was actually just me. So one of the times, I was driving in Hermitage
Okay.
because me and a bunch of the football players we decided to go bowling, and for
Right.
some reason Creighton's family decided to go bowling in Hermitage. I don't know why. I was like, cool. I'll drive. I'll pick a bunch of people up, and I'll chauffeur them over there. And we drove over there. And it was really illegal. I saw it. I've never seen anyone do this. We're at a stoplight. You know, our light just turned red, so we had to stop and stuff. But the car next to me, for some reason, thought they were like, oh, I could beat the light, and it was already red. But then apparently, they noticed halfway out in the square, and oncoming traffic was trying to go, and then the car in the middle of the road decides to back up, maneuver, and just backs up. And there's a bunch of cars honking, and he messes up backing up because the other car is already compensated by moving forward. So all the other cars, I think it was like 5 cars, they all were trying to back up to let this one car come back. And with all that time of that happening, our light was already green, but all the other cars and all the other cars that were like had the green light before were in the center trying to go because this one car was stopping them. It came a traffic jam over this one car.
Interesting.
Like literally, I've never seen this happen. And like literally, like I remember, it got so like apparently no one knew what to do. Apparently, no one wanted to move. So literally, 2 cop cars had to come out there and redirect traffic, and like everyone just ignored the stoplights, and the cops just got them to go. Like they had to fix it because of this one car. I had to wait at that light for like 20 minutes because of that one car.
Interesting.
Here's a driving tip for you. If you are driving through a red light and you realize halfway through the intersection it's red, just run the red light.
Yeah,
Or that'll happen.
Like, I don't know what was going through that guy's head. I honestly don't. But I've never seen that. That was the only time I've ever seen that happen.
He really didn't want to run that red light.
Apparently. Like, I don't understand. He went when it was red. But then he was like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to. I'll just back up.
They'll let me in.
Well,
Yeah.
I like that story, Nick. So that's +1 point for you.
Yay.
And since Alan delivered a fun fact for us about driving,
No.
that's 2 points for him.
You son of a bitch.
Making this week's winner, Alan.
Yes!
Bitch.
This was totally not rigged at all. And this point
I was
totally
rigged from the
matters.
beginning. I was set to lose from the beginning.
Well,
if Alan didn't deliver
at
that
least
fun
it's not
fact, he was going to
scripted.
win anyways.
I hate you. Hunter, you're the most biased. I want you to know, whenever I judge people, I'm not biased. I actually go by the points and what people I think deserve them. I don't decide before episodes
he's
who
the
wins.
Judge, though, so he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, man.
Screw him.
I'm sorry, man.
Screw you.
I don't make the rules. I
Yeah,
just-
he
You douchebag.
At least it's not scripted.
yeah, at least it's not scripted.
I hate you. This is almost like the time Brandon cheated at Risk.
But
You're still on that?
yeah, dude, like
I will
get over
never
it
forgive
already.
him. I will never forgive him. That game took us 2 days to play that Risk board game, and he just cheated and ruined our entire experience of playing that game for 2 days, where
Calm
I
down,
was
man.
legitimately
It's not
trying.
your
Okay,
Nice.
if it was 2 days, I'd still be on that.
And he just throws it away by cheating.
I mean, that's Brandon.
Yeah, that's Brandon for
That's
you.
just who he is.
And Hunter's mom helped him. He backed him up when I was like, wait, I think there's more units on the board than when we left.
Well, you gotta think my mom won't help him anymore after what he did to her.
What did
I
you do to
hope
her?
so. I hope.
Traumatized her.
Brandon made his mom cry.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
It's a story from another day.
I want to thank everyone, the millions of people that are going to watch this. I want to thank all of them for coming here and listening to the end. And we will hopefully be back next week with an episode. That'll be really good because I'm hosting it.
The audience gets Ebola.
That's not gonna happen.
I will track down where our views come from, and I'll give them Ebola.
View singular.
Yeah, you're just gonna track it to your house, man.
That's true.
Actually, we have 7 views on our first video, I think, like 7 or 6.
Yeah, 4 of those were out of the 3 of us.
Still. So that means I will track down that 1 viewer now.
Well,
Anyways, Alan, close us out.
thanks
Gee, there's
everyone.
10 views now on.
Nick, shut up.
There's 10 views
Nick,
on the first episode.
Nick, I'll take away points from next week if you keep talking.
He doesn't make the rules.
I don't
I will
make the
just
rules,
never
I just
win.
fall. Nick, you're treading thin ice.
Do it. Hurt me. I want you to do it.
Alright, thank you everyone for listening. We will see you next
Come
week.
on, do it. You know you want to.
I'm taking away a point from next week.
Just
Podcast out.